So is this thing over?
Well, everybody in the Republican Party of significance understands it's over, except Rick Santorum, and Rick is out there a little bit tired, a little bit grumpy. You know, do you know who Jeff Dunham is?
I do not.
Ventriloquist?
No.
Well, Jeff is a great ventriloquist, but he's got a character named Walter, who's a tired, grumpy old man, and Rick is really fallen into that mode. Yesterday, he flew off the handle and got a little bit profane against the press. You have to, if you want to be president and you want to run for president effectively, you have to show that you have discipline and self-control and can deal with tough issues. If you're going to scream at the press, so how are you going to deal with the Russians?
But let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that scream at the press every day. I can't stand them. They drive me crazy.
I understand that, but you're not running for president. There's a difference.
So, but you know, and what he said was he was concerned that his words were being taken out of context when he specifically on the issue of whether or not Mitt Romney is going to have a difficult time running against Obamacare since he has a similar law that he implemented.
Yeah, but, you know, Rick also said about 5 days ago that he preferred Obama over Romney, and then he had to backtrack, and again he said he was quoted out of context. He's being quoted out of context. Every time he sticks his foot in his mouth, he says he's being quoted out of context. Let's start understanding that to have a president that can be effective, you need somebody that has some discipline. But even beyond that, we're moving into Wisconsin and Maryland and D.C. There'll be important primaries next week. I think after that it'll be pretty clear that the difference in delegates is overwhelming. And at some point, Rick's got to do the right thing for himself, for the party, and for the country. Otherwise, he becomes a caricature of himself.
When you said everyone of significance in the Republican Party now believes it's over, there is one important element that's been forgotten here, and that's the people that are voting for anyone but Mitt Romney. What do you make of the fact that this has been such a tough sell for Mitt Romney? To me, that just says that there's a disconnect there amongst the conservative grassroots faithful and the Romney campaign. Am I wrong?
Yes, you're wrong.
Okay,
and
tell me
here's
why.
The disconnect. Mitt Romney's gotten 1.5 million more votes than Rick Santorum in the process. 1.5 million more. There's really no way for Rick to win this. He's got to get 75% of the delegates. He's not even getting 10%, 15% in some states. So the fact is that this thing is going to end up that way, and he's just letting his ego and his emotions drive this to stretch it out. I understand. I've been in primaries. I've been in general elections. I understand how hard it is to let go. And I personally don't have any problem letting this go another few weeks. But the fact is every day we let it go further, Obama builds up his strength.
Governor Sununu also said everyone of significance in the Republican Party now believes that the race is over, that Rick Santorum should step aside. And so everyone of significance obviously doesn't include a fair amount of voters like in Louisiana and 10 other states. What do you make of this sort of growing, Kevin McCarthy now and a number of the, Jeb Bush over the weekend, a lot of other folks saying, here's exactly what Kevin McCarthy said. After a long and grueling primary, it is clear that Mitt Romney is the best candidate to face President Obama and fix the mess of his one and only term, and to unite and work together to take back the White House. And evidently, he's going to be endorsing Governor Romney today. What do you make of the noise amongst the establishment getting a little louder?
It's the establishment. It's the folks here in Washington who have a 15% approval rating, who don't want to see any real changes, who continually, compromise and support policies that that the vast majority of Republicans are scratching their head and saying, why do we elect these guys? And of course, they're going to line up behind Mitt Romney. I expect that, but that's not what the people of America want. They want real change here in Washington, D.C. They don't want someone who's going to be just a little better than Barack Obama. And he certainly will be better than Barack Obama, but the problem with that is he has to win the election first. And on the biggest issues of the day, on energy, gas prices, Mitt Romney was for cap and trade. Mitt Romney was, espoused man-made global warming and said higher gas prices are here to stay, and it's a good thing. I mean, these are the kinds of things that you will see in an election in the fall. I mean, you'll see every wedge issue that we have on the economy, every single one on gas prices, on Obamacare, and on unemployment, and on economic growth. Mitt Romney was on the wrong side, and that's why it's important for us to nominate a conservative who can make Obama the issue in the race, not our nominee.